In this practice, we're going to explore so-called inner and outer circle, sometimes referred to as positive and negative circle, or yang and yin circle. Ultimately, you'll discover that the circles both have yin and yang in them in both directions of movement. It's just a way of understanding that these two movements are the fundamental building blocks of our Chen Taichi Chan Shu, or silk reeling. Hi, I'm Grant Kleiman from Darsana Martial Arts. Welcome to the channel. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you'd like to support us or join our online academy, there are links in the description. All right, let's get to the lesson. Welcome to this third practice in our 10-minute Tai Chi series. The great Grand Master of our lineage, Chen Chuanzhang, once said that all of Tai Chi is really just these two actions. Open up to a wider stance, a horse stance. Toes slightly turned out, maybe 30 to 45 degrees. Sit down with the pelvis between the inner hip space, or qua. Relax your low back and tailbone. Let your tailbone hang down and keep the head suspended up. Try to relax the muscles all around the hips, particularly the low back and rear muscles, which will tend to want to grab on, and let the weight of the upper body transfer down through the legs and feet into the ground. Keep the hollow in the back of the knee relaxed and opened over the centers of the feet, and place your hands on your hips. I'm going to take my left hand and hold it palm up in front of my chest, middle finger in line with my breastbone, pinky edge of the palm facing inward towards the frontal midline of my body. This is the end position of the shunchan movement, or natural inward rotation. And then as I perform nichan, the counter or outward rotation of the palm, I'm going to move the arm up so that the hand will move up towards my head and outward away from my body as it rotates out, and then gently circle out to about shoulder height with the pinky edge out or even up and the palm facing out or down. Then relaxing, the hand will sweep down and the palm will rotate in using shunchan. If you're not familiar with shunchan and nichan, check out our second practice in this series. So, in this case, nichan circles up and out and then back down to shoulder height. Shunchan circles down and in and back up to the center of the chest. The middle finger will never pass my breastbone, my frontal midline. It may appear to do so, but that's because of the rotation of my dantian, turns my pelvis, will slightly fold, in this case, my right qua, and then as it goes out, my elbow will never move back past the lateral midline of my body between the shoulder and hip. If it appears to do so, it's only again because of the rotation of my dantian, which turns my pelvis, in this case folding my left qua. So the hand, the arm, and the torso will rotate, turning as the arm sweeps through its circular motion. Now, ultimately, the pelvis doesn't merely turn horizontally, but it actually rotates around the dantian in all three dimensions. But for now, just focus on keeping the head suspended and releasing the tension of the upper body, starting in the shoulders and moving down through chest, waist, and hips, so that the spine opens and the pelvis can hang down away from the head and the weight of the body can transfer down through the legs into the ground and then receive the so-called ground force or ground support up to the top of the head and out to the hand. This is all accomplished in this case through the way that the whole body is rotating to spiral motion and force and energy through it, which is what silk reeling is. We're going to switch now to the right hand or to your other hand. Same action. If you can, relax your breathing. Let your breathing move out of your chest and down towards your lower abdomen, your dantian region. In shunchan, the rotation is led by the pinky finger, and in nichan by the thumb. So here, the pinky begins to rotate inward and spiral towards the center of my palm, then the ring finger, middle finger, and pointer finger. So in Chen Taichi, our hands are always changing shape, like the rest of our body. Then with nichan, thumb rotates in towards the center of the palm, then pointer, middle, ring, and pinky finger. The center of the palm is slightly hollowed out, so-called roof tile palm. So it's not overly stretched open, but it's not collapsed in. As far as the weight, don't try to drive yourself from side to side using the legs. Instead, just relax, open the hips, turn from the dantian, from your lower abdominal center and pelvic center, and let the pelvis rotate between the hips, keeping the hips as relaxed as you can. Let the weight sink down through the legs and feet into the ground. And you'll find that the rotation will naturally exchange the weight from foot to foot. You don't have to do it. You just focus on keeping the head suspended, releasing and letting the weight of the body and tension sink down to the feet, and keeping the joints open and relaxed. The ground force will also spiral back up. We'll switch now back to the left, but this time we're going to go in the opposite direction. Down, out, up, in, and back down. It's the same action in reverse. So all of the parameters still apply. In terms of vertical, the fingertips will come up to about the height of my brow, or maybe the top of my head. And downward, the wrist will come to about the hip. Maybe the fingertips will just touch the top of my knee. I still don't let the elbow pass the lateral midline of my body, and I don't let the middle finger pass the frontal midline of my torso. As beginners, moving the hands and following with the body, and later on, we move from the dantian to move the body and the hands. But right now, the most important thing is just to relax and explore the motion within the parameters we've discussed. We'll switch to the other hand, my right hand. One area that will tend to get tense would be the shoulders, if you're using the shoulders to generate the movement of the arms. We want to relax the tops of the shoulders and the joint capsule as much as we can. So when the arm is coming up, try not to raise the shoulder, try not to lean back, relax straight down, relax the muscles around the shoulder, let the elbow drop naturally, and rotate around the middle finger and kind of let the rest of the arm fall inward, downward, like so. So as the arm comes up, take that as an opportunity to sink even more from the shoulder to the hip to the foot, and then inward towards the midline. There's also upward force, but for now, I'd rather you focus on the downward sinking and relaxing. Eventually, that will produce the upward force anyways. Bring the feet back into a shoulder width position, and we'll do 3 returns to Wu Ji, breathing in, and out. That concludes our 10-minute Tai Chi practice.